welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, as you may already have noticed. And I want to show you 3 different games again, and that will be Word Chef 2018, Bingo World and Lumberwhack Defense and Wild. My name is Gerald, and as always I have a couple of different input devices with me, which is for instance this Arc mouse, so for mouse input of course. I will be using the Foldable keyboard, which is this, and it's foldable because of that, it's the name. And of course there could be, for instance, the Xbox One wireless controller, but it's not going to be in this episode because there is no game that is supporting it at the moment, and so we are going to leave that out for now. And of course, as the core of everything here, I'm using the Lumia 950 XL again, which is this smartphone, which has a Mozo cover at the back here and is of course equipped with, for instance, a USB-C connector at the bottom here, which can be connected with this USB-C cable to my display dock, which is at the side here, and the display dock itself is connected to this TV here, and like that I can show you this desktop-like experience on it, and for instance use my different input devices here to really just control my smartphone with it. And if you want to know more about that, please have a look at the corner there, and you will find a couple of different videos there where I'm going to tell you more about this whole topic. And I would say let's start with the first game now. The first game is Word Chef 2018, and it's a letter connection game more or less. So if I go to my all apps list here, click on that. And what is going to happen here is we are going to connect different letters now in a different order, and like that we are going to have different words which are coming out of that. There are a couple of different levels with this, and it's all made up like a recipe, so you are going to create recipes, word recipes, whatever, to play this game. And what you will see is that this game is more or less pretty easy to solve if you ask me, but sometimes you really have to think about it and you really don't get which word could be the one we are searching for at the moment. And in general it's always just 3 different letters. There may be more in later recipes or something, I don't know, but at the moment there are really just 3 letters you are going to connect, and you will have to find each and every connection possibility, or at least a couple of them which are placed above that, to solve the puzzle here. And yeah, it's pretty simple what we can set up here. We can, for instance, just set up that the sound shouldn't play and that there should be no sound effects or something. We are just keeping it at the moment like this, and then you just click on play. And what you can see here is we have a recipe with different kind of flavors or whatever we want to call it. And there you can just start, and there are 12 different word games in one of these at least, and 18 in the others we are going to see here. And if you click on that icon there, we can play the first one. And as you can see, I already played a couple of them, and we can scroll through these to see which are available and which are not. And I think it's a little bit of a spoiler that you already see which kind of letters we are going to play in this recipe here, but whatever. Just have a look. For instance, at the level 11 I'm at the moment, so I'm just clicking on that, and I will show you what's going on here. So as you can see, there are different kind of combinations which are possible in this game. So these just tell you that there are, for instance, are 2 different words which can be created from these letters, which only have 2 different letters in them, and there's one with 3 letters in them. And if we, for example, try to solve this now, for instance, one word we can create with that, you just connect these by drag and dropping these ropes from one to the other letter. And if we do that, we get or, and of course you can see this is one of the words we are going to search for. And of course do would be another one for the 2-letter part here. And maybe the last one is rod or something. And as you can see, we completed this recipe now. And if, for instance, you don't like the music, just turn it off. It's going to be there whenever you, for instance, solve one of the puzzles here. You're going to have a new one And if you want to play on, you can just click on this here. And I think we should do that now. And the interesting part is there is no kind of timer or something. You're not going to be under pressure in any kind of way here. And there are extra words you can even get from this. So if you, for instance, find words which are not in this combination part here, you go to extra words, or the words are in extra words, and they will just congratulate you for that. Maybe give you some kind of experience bonus or whatever, some kind of a bonus at least. And like that you can really use it. Okay, so let's have a look. Tab would be one of the 9 words which can be used here. So the next one would of course be pet. That should be possible. App maybe. Yeah. And then we have one word which is of course at, which can be created with this. As you can see, it's not extremely difficult or something, but if you for some reason or the other don't know how to go on with it, you can always click on this button here. So this 2 rubbies, it's a moment available, and that just means that they will give you a hint with one of the starting letters, and you can use that to try to make it easier for you. Yeah, and that is more or less what I can show you about this game. It's quite a nice game. Has a lot of different levels we can play, and if you would like that kind of word games, you can really try it out. It's quite nice for that. Yeah, just try it out. It's on the Windows Store, of course. So I'm going to close this app again. And we are going to have a look at the second game in this line up here. And the second game is Bingo World. Bingo World is exactly what, or Bingo World Future, better to say, is exactly what you may expect it to be. So what you are going to have here, is of course just a bingo game. And if you don't like bingo, just skip ahead. It's going to be a bingo game. There's nothing else in here. And as you can see, you can play bingo with it. You can have a look at the win patterns, which is a good idea if you don't know what bingo is, of course. So just have a look at these. And you can see all of these are going to give you a bingo. And if you have a bingo, you are winning, or at least if no other player is faster than you, you are winning this. Or you just score on a different score there, or a different place more or less. Okay, and if I click on that, it's going to be often that he's asking you if you want to buy or get rid of the advertisement. Of course not doing that at the moment. And if you want to play, just go on Let's Bingo. And here you have some kind of different options to play with. I'm going to use New York style and go to Let's Bingo. And what you can see here is, this is more or less what's going on here. And yeah. As you can see, you are playing against different other players, and now you just have to search for the different numbers which are given to you. You can see which one are already available at this point. And now you have to get this kind of pattern we saw before to win this game. And yeah, this is more or less what's going to happen here. You have 35 buttons left. And you just have to see if one of the balls which are going to be here is in your scorecard more or less at the moment. So, and click on it. You don't have really to be as fast at that one. So all the different numbers are placed here. If you want to have a look at that, you can do that too. And there are this couple of bonus parts which are going to more or less give you an option to play the game a little bit faster. And just to let you know, if this is going on too long, I'm going to cut it off. But let's see if I can, for instance, get a couple of different things here done. So everybody who doesn't know bingo at the moment, you just have to get this kind of patterns. They are going to give you some kind of a number there, and you just have to pick the number on your score part here, or at least you don't even have to pick them. If you click on bingo and you have the numbers on your scorecard, everything is fine. And now we get a blue one too. That was close. You would have a really nice bingo already if if it would be the 52 for instance, it's going to be very, very fast, but often it's not going to be that easy here. And this is more or less a joker. You can click on that, and if you click on that you get a little joker for that. And so now just wait for the numbers you have here to get it done. And as you can see, all the other players are doing that too. You can even see what the other players are having on their scorebook or scorecard more or less. And if they get a bingo, of course they are going to use bingo there too. We can use one of these again. And there's a 55, we have that, but it's not going to help us very much. 22, we have the 2, but as I mentioned before, 52 would be cool, or something like this at this bottom. And if you're not going to win this, of course you can lose if, for instance, the balls are going to be emptied. 60 is not on my scorecard. And as you can see, the numbers are really not ordered or something. So really be aware of what you are doing here, and to find the right numbers, have a look at that. And of course, as I mentioned before, you can have a look at this and do it over and over again. 21 is one of mine, and I have bingo now. So I can click on that. And as you can see, bingo! We got one of the cards here, and we won as a first person. And this is more or less what this game is all about. If you like this kind of bingo game, just try it out and play it, and if you don't like it, just skip it. It's really up to you what you are going to do there. Okay, and then we will have a look at our last game in this lineup, which is Lumberwhack Defend the Wild. And I'm going to go to my all apps list, of course, click on that. Let's see if it's here already. No, it's not. So I'm going to search for it. There we are. And if I click on that, this game is more or less, yeah, you're playing a little monkey which is trying to defend his jungle more or less. And there are going to be lumberjacks, of course, which are trying to, for instance, get rid of the trees and get rid of different animals and stuff like that. And you have to defend against them. And there are different levels where you are going to have different apes which can be used and stuff like that. And you are going to get more and more units, more or less. So you are a little ape in the, or monkey in the trees there, more or less. And you are, of course, fighting against these different units which are coming against you. And of course, you have these kind of animals, and you can fight against the bad humans which are trying to kill the jungle here. It's really a fun little game. If you click on play, you are going to see the first option here. I resetted this. This is your, and you are going to be more or less a commander over the wild, or whatever you want to tell it. And as you can see, the lumberjacks are going for your home more or less, and you have to survive them. And now just click on the first option here. And there is the first level. We have a monkey at this part here, and of course you are here too. And what we now have to do is you just have to climb over this by clicking on the button there. And after that, if you are in range of for instance, a lumberjack, you can now hit him with some kind of stones or something you are throwing at him. And yeah, at the first part here, or in the first level here, it's really quite easy to do, because for instance this is not the truck here is not going to drive against your wall and stuff like that. Later on they are really fighting you much more. But the cool thing is we now have our first unit. If I click on that, we can now free our first ape, and this kind of ape is now available for you in your army more or less. You can see you have different options with this ape and what it can do. And it has a small little description here, so it's an almost bright ape. You are a bright ape, more or less, and this is an almost bright ape. And he has a couple of different properties, more or less, so how much he can take and how good he is at attacking things. And there are going to be power-ups and stuff like that. And now we just have to go on and try to get rid of the lumberjacks which are trying to fight against us. And what is of course important is that you get food. So first off, just try to get one of the apes here, and then you have to get food to more or less get more apes. And so you are going to send out more and more of your army personnel, or whatever you want to call it. And you are going to send them out against the other lumberjacks, and they have different units there, you have units there, and then you are just trying to overrun them. This is more or less the game. If we click on what we are supposed to be here, you can see we have our first ape coming out, and we have this level part because food is going to be collected automatically, and you can of course get that too. And if you go to this level point, it's going to be faster how this is going to run. And of course you can fight too, so just go in there and hit the lumberjacks before they can hit you too much. And here's a power up more or less, so if you click on that one, you are going to throw stones a lot faster than before, and we can just try to get them killed. And if they, for instance, are near your trees or something, they're going to attack your trees, and yeah, it's bad for you because you don't have that much food anymore. You don't have the option to stay there anymore and fight them there, and you really have to more or less defend the cave you had at the part there. Okay, so let's have a look at the map now, because we got the first one and you can see we have the second one now. And now we can, for instance, upgrade our skills, our different units and stuff like that. So just do that. And after that we can just go out, of course, have a look at the market, which is possible here. There is this kind of Santa's hat. You're forced to use it at least, so even if we can't, if we don't have the season for that, whatever, you're forced to use it because it's part of the tutorial here. But it's really a nice little game. You can see we have a couple of different maps here, and we are going to get our pass first. We have to do it for some reason or the other. And now we can, for instance, claim our rewards here, more or less, and you have to do it because otherwise you're not allowed to use this. And then we can, for instance, just go to the next level. I'm going to play one or two more with you, I'm not sure. As you can see, there are going to be more lumberjacks and other units in there, and of course we get different kind of power-ups we can select at the start, and then we can, for instance, just go on, use our little ape here, go to the start, and try to defeat the lumberjacks which are coming for us here. And as you can see, they are going to hit us, and all of my trees have a different kind of health bar there, so just try to get those, to keep those trees alive. It's not important how many apes are going to die or something for some reason or the other, that's okay. Just be aware that your trees should really live on. Okay, so use the next one, put this in here, and the next one. Okay. And of course you can, for instance, use this power up again. And this is more or less always the end boss or whatever. So there's going to be a truck and you want to have that truck beaten down, and after that you're going to get some kind of a grade more or less. So it's not stars in this case, but it's trees, but in the end it's more or less the same. And after that you get a stage bonus in some situations, and you can now choose one of the rewards cards. We are going to use one, and if we did that, we get something for it. Yeah, and I think we are going to have a look at the next one too, because I want to show you another unit you are going to have. And as you already see here, there's a gorilla, and we are trying to free him. And for that, of course, we have to do what we always are doing in this game, so we have to defend ourselves. And the good thing is we have a couple of trees. Oh. Okay, I never fall down till now, but somehow I can be on the ground, as you can see. And now I'm trying to defend those again. As you can see, here's a little bit of another unit already. So we have one with a helmet on, and we have one with more or less a rifle. The rifles are not that dangerous as you may already, or as you may expect, because your apes can take 1 or 2 shots from them. And now just try to defend your home. This is what this game is all about. And as you can see, there are going to be power-ups here which you can collect with your mouse. So if you, for instance, kill one of the enemies, he might drop something. Or if you get some kind of a bonus, there might be some kind of a helper there. And for some reason or the other, even though the rifles are firing, he really has a good sleeping card there. And now he is already trying to kill us again. And he is really dangerous with his truck, so if you are an ape, you really don't want to be hit by him. I think it's even less dangerous to be hit by a rifle, which is a little bit, but whatever. It's really fun to play this game. And as you can see, we got that, and now we are going to free our friend, of course. And we have a new unit here. Yeah, and so he has, of course, more power to hit somebody with, and he has, for instance, more health, so he can take more of a punch, and that is more or less what we are going to end this game, or this episode with, because try it out, it's really a nice game. As you can see, there are a couple of different levels here, there are a couple of different options, strategies to play with, and it's really a fun little game, and it's nice to have it. So, I hope, as I leave this game now, I hope you had 1 or 2 of the games here which really were more or less of your kind and you liked it. And if so, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you have any kind of questions, please put the questions in the commentary box below. And of course, if you didn't subscribe till now, do it now. And so, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. This ends the episode. I hope you had fun with it. Have a nice week. We will see us at the next weekend again. And so, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Have a nice day, and bye.